Welcome. Oh, shook the camera there. Welcome.
Don't do
Hello,
that.
welcome to our podcast. I'm Rahlyx, and
I'm Scarfee.
and yeah, he's Scarfee, and we're here to, I don't know. We're here.
Yeah.
So we were doing a stream the other day, and we tossed around the idea of doing a podcast, and people in chat were like, "Can we get some of that?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure, fuck it, let's do it." So we're
Something like that.
We're doing it. But yeah. So, and you can say what you want to say.
This is the first episode.
It's the first episode. We've never
Yeah.
done any of this. We've literally just like opened up a group note on our iPads and gotten to work, and
It's
gonna be
wrote
fun.
down a bunch of stuff.
so bear with us for the first episode.
Bear with us for the first episode because we're going to be a little bit awkward and a little bit disorganized. But in any case, it's just like also a part of what ADHD is just we're just like we thought about a project and 2 days later we're doing it, and who knows if we're going to keep up with it. Yeah. But it's for now something that we are starting, and maybe we will stick with it. Who knows?
Fingers crossed.
But welcome. We the working name for our podcast right now is ADHD Discussions.
Yes.
We need to get used to saying that.
ADHD discussions.
And as you could guess, probably it's because we are ADHD as hell, as you can see from whatever Rahlyx is doing right now.
Really it's really loud in my ear. Just smacked my headphone.
Congratulations.
Bless. Yeah. That's
yeah, and we decided that we wanted to just like because we have a lot of moments when we are hanging out together and we're just talking about something and we go on a million tangents throughout whatever topic we're discussing. We thought it would be a really good way to like create content too, like something that we just don't enjoy. Well, we something that we enjoy talking about, as well as just like going on a million tangents and discussing everything connected to whatever we're discussing.
As
so
you do.
This is basically the idea for the podcast.
Yeah. Tangents are my specialty. Let me tell you, we can be talking about one thing and give me 5 minutes and we'll be on a whole nother planet. Let me tell you. Whoo! Ain't no focusing on this bitch. Let's go.
Absolutely not. So we came up with a few segments that we wanted to do for the podcast, and the first one is a very common thing that ADHD people do is we forget everything. If there's no set way that we're doing something, there's no structure or anything, we just forget about it. It flies out of the brain as soon as it entered. And one of those things that we frequently forget is what day is it. So
yes.
We are going to be probably posting podcasts on Tuesdays, whenever we have an episode, that is.
Yeah. We toyed with Mondays, but it's still a little fresh.
It's just it's up in the air right now.
Yeah.
But
well, so
we're going to be recording on a different day, of course.
Yeah. We figured Tuesday uploads because we would record it on the weekend because that's how you do, right? And then inevitably it would sit in our to-do list until Sunday night, Monday morning, and then we go, oh shit, that needs to go out. Maybe we should do it. And then we scramble to do it Monday night. So then we release it Tuesdays. That way we have Monday to fuck up. Because that's what we do.
We're kind of giving ourselves a cushion between the time that we're actually doing something and it wouldn't have the deadline. So we have time to procrastinate.
So in my mind, it's due on Monday, but it doesn't go out until Tuesday because
Is it really procrastination if you plan to procrastinate?
That's a great question because I feel like it kind of is, but it kind of isn't at the same time, right? So you're going to procrastinate, so you build in space to procrastinate. And I feel like anytime I do that, I usually end up just completely pushing it off. It gets written off completely. I do it at work a lot, and it's a problem.
If you do it successfully, it sounds like responsibility. If you do it unsuccessfully, it's just laziness.
Exactly. Boom.
But anyway,
he gets it.
Back to our topic. As you can see, you got a little taste of the tangents that are going to be going on.
Real. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Very real.
Also, little excuse for anybody who doesn't know me is that if I mispronounce words, just don't go ham at me, please. I'm Russian,
Yeah,
so I don't really know. I'm doing my best here, okay? So, in any case, what day is it?
Well, okay, so it's kind of a spoiler because we talked about it before stream, like goofs. I really don't know if we hadn't mentioned it before we started, because I've been off of work for the last week on vacation, and I have no concept of what day it is at any moment. But
and I'm in quarantine. So.
And you're in quarantine. Yeah, well, I am too, but yeah. It's Saturday. I'm 80% sure it's Saturday.
I'm also 80% sure it's Saturday, but then I looked at my iPad and it helpfully at the top says Saturday, August 29th.
Oh, well, there you go.
But
see, technology cheats.
In any case, like the reason why we know it's Saturday, first of all, is because of my iPad, but second of all, usually on Fridays where I live, they do like the maintenance day where they go around with leaf blowers and like lawn mowers and stuff. And for some reason, today is the day they decided to do it on Saturday when we're recording our stuff. So
Lord.
if you hear a leaf blower in the background, I'm sorry, but it was supposed to be happening yesterday on Friday, but it's Saturday and they're doing it today. So it's that is the reason why.
And his pals. It's okay.
It is the reason why we are. I personally know what day it is, because whenever I hear leaf blowers outside, that means that they're here. And
leaf
it means that it's Friday.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday, innit?
Tuesday, innit?
Rusty specifically, I'm sorry.
Any other English people who might be in chat, I don't know. I keep like taking my mouse and I hover over Chrome and I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't open chat. Which, right. As a quick aside, with this, at least on this one, we might do it. I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet at all. But we
don't know.
We do. This one is being live streamed because I didn't stream this morning and I needed to do something today that was productive. Otherwise, I would have just taken 3 iPad cases to the UPS store to return, and that would have been my whole day. So, and that's a story for later. But what was I talking about? Shit, I genuinely forgot. What was I saying?
There we go. You were talking about
twitch.tv/RAHLYX_ is where we stream these for right now. And sometimes maybe possibly twitch.tv/Scarfee. If he wants, it's up to him.
Maybe. If I figure out how to simultaneously stream cameras between OBS and Discord.
I believe. Well, you don't have to, because you can do what I did. Where you just...
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Grab the cameras. Grabby cams! Okay. Anyway, what's next? What's the next thing we're going to talk about?
Yeah, the next segment that we're coming up on is random thoughts that you have at this moment. Like, or what were you thinking right before we started recording? Like, what was the random thought that it was
right before?
Like?
Honestly,
that's another thing about the ADHD people is like, if you ask them what they were thinking 5 minutes ago, they were not going to be able to tell you, because we have so many thought trains going in all different directions at all times that it's just impossible to keep track of them.
That's true. So what I was thinking of, I actually know because I'm fixated on it right now, is reorganizing this room. I'm very excited about that. I'm getting equipment to reorganize on Tuesday so I can mount my desktop under my desk, which then allows me to basically have my desk wherever and keep the cable management literally in just one tube strapped to the back of my desk, which I'm thrilled about. Very happy about.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then
I have a tangle of cables in front of me.
Dude, I feel that. You should look under my desk. It's a shit show. But instead of this, I'm going to make a whole display of the Legos that we've built on stream and all that kind of fun stuff. It's going to be great. I'm very excited. But yeah, that's yeah. What were you thinking? What was your thought before we started here?
My random thought is a little bit more random, but it kind of is connected to what has been happening in the adjacent communities that I'm modding for. Is the one of the Discord servers that that I'm modding for has disabled movie nights, and I had a dream about today about the fact that we moved the movie nights to a different Discord server. And I've been thinking, like right before we started recording, one of the random thoughts was just like, where are we gonna do movie nights now? Like we need to do movie nights, and that's just like that's what I was thinking about. That's the random thought of the time. But
No
like
more movies.
just for an example, when I was coming up with this segment, like right now, I know these thoughts are a little bit kind of seem like normal, but usually what they are. When we don't have a preoccupation or anything, when we just have something to do and our day is not filled with structure or anything. When I came up with this segment, when we were thinking about the podcast, my random thought at that time was how satisfying it is to lick smooth surfaces. So you might expect a little bit more weirdness out of this segment later on. Just as no, stop it.
That is super satisfying.
Don't lick
It's
your
really
iPad. Jesus
satisfying.
Christ. Oh my God.
Hey,
Oh,
you put the
Jesus.
thought there. All right, you incepted
I mean,
the thought into my brain.
That is true. I'm sorry.
You should be.
That was my
You
fault.
should be.
But also,
It's really
you're 25
satisfying
years old.
to.
You're
to-
25 years old. You should be able to.
I'm a man child. Just because I'm 25 doesn't mean I'm responsible or an adult.
I mean,
or
true.
reasonable.
That is true.
I just exist.
So many adults that just don't
true.
fit that.
It just means I'm
that
Debbie
parameter
Ryan.
at all.
That's all it means.
Back to Debbie Ryan. But also a tangent.
Tangent.
About age is like something that I saw on Twitter recently is that people were discussing, or like there was a thread that was really high liked, so there's a high probability that somebody that I follow liked it. And it was saying something like, let's stop judging people on what age they are, because everybody has different life experiences, and it doesn't necessarily, like, them being older doesn't necessarily mean that they had the same life lessons or the same moral compasses as other people their age. Like, you know, it's just something to keep in mind, because on the internet we tend to jump at people with assumptions that they have better, like, better moral compasses than we think they do.
That's the person.
Oh my God. Rahlyx just jumped to
jumping.
conclusions. That was the visual demonstration for you.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's just like a quick thing that I wanted to say. I'm 23, by the way. Something that I forgot to say when we were introducing ourselves. So I'm 23, he's 25, and welcome to Gen Z podcast. I guess.
No, technically, I'm the cutoff for
technically
millennial.
Yeah.
95 is the cutoff for millennial.
Wait, I'm 97. Is it like?
You're a Zoomer.
Am I?
I think you're a Zoomer.
What is that?
No, wait.
What is a Zoomer? Is it like
Zoomer is like the TikTok generation? That's Zoomers.
Isn't that Gen Z?
Yeah, Gen Z is Zoomers.
Zoomer sounds like a combination between Gen Z and Boomers.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a millennial thing, right? We call Gen Z Zoomers because we don't like Gen Z either. So we call baby boomers Boomers and Gen Z Zoomers.
Okay.
And then we're in the middle,
that makes sense.
and we just hate everyone. Everyone hates us, and we hate everyone. It's perfect.
Yeah, and you also hate your life too. But
Exactly.
in any case,
that's the shared ground of the millennial and the Gen Z is wanting, like, hating life. That's like the middle ground, like the meme where they're that's where
absolutely.
that's where they hold
I can agree with that, because I mean, I don't know which one I belong to. It doesn't matter. I just hate my life. It doesn't. It still applies. So whichever one I belong to, one of those criteria I fit perfectly.
It's a whole mood. That's a whole mood.
By the way, drinking game. Whenever I say in any case, take a shot. But you're gonna die by the end of the podcast. Just
This
a
looks
warning.
so vibrant on camera.
Oh my God.
Do you like my new
really does.
lid and boot?
Nice.
Used to be,
It
for reference,
it
used to be
is very
black
your
and
channel
orange.
colors. Mine is very
Exactly.
purple.
I love it. Is that the one that broke? Is that the glass one?
Yeah, it is the glass one, but it's the new one. Well,
Gotcha.
yeah, it is
Well,
the one
yeah,
that
obviously
broke.
it's not the one that broke.
Context. I smashed the water bottle. It is exactly the same as this one, but it is glass. So it is really nice. I really like it. Okay, and I had the next segment is naming the song that currently is stuck in your head.
Oh, I can name that.
I had a song stuck in my head for the past few days, and I can't get rid of it, and I can't stop listening to it. It's called "Save Myself" by Ash. And it's gonna like save myself.
Like Ash Ketchum.
Should have saw it coming. I think I saw it. I sent it to you before. What are you doing?
Nothing.
What are you doing?
I'm just filming what we're doing on another camera.
Why?
I don't know, for funsies. I don't know. It'd be...
Second angle coming soon.
Exactly.
What is
second
what is
podcast
going
angle.
on?
Bless.
We haven't discussed this.
Dude,
abort,
I don't know that
abort.
song. Abort the mission. I don't know that
I think
song.
I sent it
I'm
to
not
you.
familiar with it.
I think I sent it to you through iMessage.
You did. Now that I'm thinking
Recently.
about it, and I didn't open
Yeah,
it because I
and,
forgot about
yeah,
iMessage.
I just really like that song. I found it on my Spotify Discover playlist, which is actually really good and pretty accurate. If you don't forget to like songs on Spotify, like actually like press the heart, it is pretty accurate when you go into it. Yeah, and
For reference, I'm a
my
Spotify
Discover
baby.
playlist.
I don't know anything
Yeah,
about Spotify.
you just recently switched, didn't you?
Yeah.
How was the process of copying all of the playlists and stuff?
I just didn't bother. There's an
makes
app
sense.
where it's like if you sign into your Google and sign into your Spotify, it'll pull the playlists. But like my Google's linked to so many things. I'm like, I'm not gonna let some random. I already had enough like caginess about getting the Google Play Music desktop player, which is not an official app. I was very anxious about using that at all because I'm like, they're just gonna steal my information. They're gonna take over all my accounts, and I won't be able to stream anymore, and blah 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 blah. But joke's on you because that's on like 6 different emails now. So easy dub. 2-factor authenticate everything. These 3 fingers.
That's about
2
what
factors. Less. But yeah.
Also, I don't want to
Spotify's
pay
been
money
interesting.
for. I don't want to pay money for somebody to copy my playlist so where I can just
Oh
spend
no,
an hour.
it's free. It's just you have to sign in.
Was it?
Yeah.
When I was switching from Apple Music, when I was using iPhone way back like 2-3 years ago, I used Apple Music. I had an Apple Music account and I had a bunch of playlists. I switched from Spotify to Apple Music at that point because I wasn't very active user of Spotify at that point because we don't have it back in my home country. So I only started using it when I came to the United States, when I switched from Spotify to Apple Music, I just spent like a few minutes because I didn't have a lot of stuff. But when I was switching from Apple Music to Spotify, and I went, how do you copy playlists from Apple Music to Spotify? They were like, there's no automated way that you can do this, but here's a service you can pay for, and you can pay us money, and we're going to do it for you. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm just going to do it myself.
That's the trick, because they know if it's associated with an Apple device, you're probably going to end up paying for it, because if Apple is known for one thing, it's for nickel and diming you out of the ass.
That is true. That is true. No matter what you say about Apple, it's just like, they just suck the money out of you constantly. Don't get me wrong, I love my iPad. But
I literally, now that I have so Scarfee and I got iPad Pros at about the same time. And it is hands down my favorite thing that I bought in a very long time. It is just excellent. Like the Apple Pencil is fantastic. Apple, if you want to sponsor the podcast, hit us up.
Sure. After the first episode, they're gonna go, these are the guys that we're sponsoring.
We
don't
like
sponsor
these guys.
anybody else. These are the people.
They didn't just talk shit about us. Let's go. Oh, bless.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so like that iPad Pro is fantastic, but that wasn't what we were talking about. We were talking about Apple Music, going to Spotify.
Exactly.
And that wasn't even really what we were talking about either. But
yes.
Finish your story. Sorry.
Yeah, but that was basically the end of the story, that I refused to pay and I just switched manually, and Now I forget what I was originally talking about, but I think
Yeah.
we were talking originally about the song "Stuck in Your Head."
Yes.
What is your song? What is the song?
It's a very easy answer because it's been
What is it?
in my head,
On
on loop, for the last, let's see, what was it? That game released on the 8th, right? For the last like 21 days or so. It's just the Fall Guys menu music.
Fall Guys, yes. I figured.
It's just stuck in my head, dude. It's a problem. I just can't even with my brain. But
well, yeah, you're currently
I opened it
fixated
earlier
on
just
Fall
so I
Guys.
could listen to the music while I was working on stuff.
Absolutely.
It's a problem. But
I mean, it makes sense to me because most of the time that you play anything, you play Fall Guys now.
it's true. It's so much fun. All
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway.
No, I'm not ending. I'm just saying. Well, in any case,
Yes.
again, take
Drink.
a shot. But yeah, we're this is the beginning segments of our podcast, and this is just what you're gonna what you could expect in the future episodes if this even goes up, even live, even. But now we can just go on to whatever we had to talk about. But what I'm thinking is, like, right now we have a general list of topics. Like, later on we're gonna both bring separate lists of topics that we want to talk about, whatever we want to talk about. But right now I just wanted to talk more in depth about what ADHD is and like how it relates to us both. Why we're calling this podcast ADHD discussions in the first place is
Do it.
the reason behind it is ADHD and how it pushed us basically to doing this. And consequentially, I wanted to say is that, like, buying these iPads, I think, and having shared notes and folders, I think is also kind of a factor in us starting the podcast, because if we didn't have such an easy organization tool, I don't think we would have done it. Because it would have been too difficult for the ADHD brain to go like, oh, there's so many obstacles to doing this, I don't want to do this anymore, you know?
Yep.
That is just like, that is one of the reasons. But I just wanted to quickly, I have the description of ADHD here in front of me in the browser, in a very scientific source called Google. What the definition of the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is. It is a chronic condition including attention difficulty, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. ADHD often begins in childhood and can persist into adulthood. It may contribute to low self-esteem, troubled relationships, and difficulty at school or work. Symptoms include limited attention, hyperactivity. Treatments include medication and talk therapy. So
Just
this is
at
the
me
like
next
very
time.
this is a very brief description of what ADHD is from what Google says, at least. But it is like a very in a nutshell description, and it is pretty accurate, even though it has been updated pretty frequently lately. From what my therapist told me, is that there's a lot of research currently going into it just because of how widespread it actually is. And sorry, I'm taking a cough drop because I cough a lot. But excuse you, are you mocking me?
Yes.
Are you, dude? I quit the podcast. I'm leaving.
No.
I'm just joking. But yeah, kind of segueing into the next topic, so to say, is that I am officially diagnosed with ADHD.
I'm not.
I've had therapy. I went to psychiatrists, and I am medicated. I'm currently taking medication for ADHD, and I can say that it has pretty big impact on what it actually does to me. But what about, like, what would you say? You are not diagnosed.
No, I am not.
Good face.
I am full of beans. All the energy.
Why?
All the time.
Why would you say so?
What?
Why would you say so? Why are you not diagnosed?
Oh, because I'm broke as shit. Not to get political, but American healthcare is a joke.
I mean,
So
yeah. Having spent 5 years here, I can attest to this too.
Fair play. It's just one of those things where it's like a matter of for a while I wasn't sure if this was like the place where I was going to stay. So it's like it's hard to kind of like find a doctor even as well. Like, you know, I'm kind of out on my own a little bit, right? So I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really have like a frame of reference for anybody to be like, hey, this is how you like go and find a primary care physician. I'm the kind of person that if I get sick, I'm just going to walk it off. I'm going to be like, all right, I am sick and I'm going to stay in bed and just die for a little bit and then I'll be okay. And that'll be that. Which is not healthy. Don't do it.
It is not.
I'm just used to it.
We do not recommend it.
Do not recommend.
Do not do it.
1 out of 10. But I mean,
seek professional help if you can.
It's true. Usually I'm the kind of guy who goes, you know, to the minute clinic inside of Kroger when I get really sick and I'm like, hey,
oh, no.
I can't swallow. And then they go, here's some hydrocodone. Enjoy. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Cool. You ever try to do really technical like program work using like a cough syrup that you had no idea had like very heavy duty shit in it? Let me tell you, it is the most frustrating thing because you're sitting there working and then you kind of just like your brain just kind of goes fuzzy and then you snap back like 30 minutes later and you're like, oh no.
What just happened?
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a whole ass problem right there.
I mean, I was about to say that like you were saying that you ever try to do very high technical work and I was just like, nope. Just like right at that point, no, I haven't. I mean, I had classes in computing and stuff, but no.
Yeah. It's weird, but so that's why I haven't like been diagnosed because it's just kind of like I don't have the time, the money, or the wherewithal to bother, which is not like the greatest mindset. And in fact, I'm gonna make my chair sit upright because I've been lounging this whole time and I need to stop lounging. But yeah, my brain, I just don't have I don't have the time.
Relax your shoulders. Put up your chin.
No, because then people
just
will
a reminder
see.
Just a reminder for everybody.
My blubber. That's why I like this camera angle.
What did you call it?
I called it my blubber.
Blubber?
Yeah, like a walrus. Or a turkey.
Mine is unhideable. Mine is just right here. Mine is just like even if I look down, it's over here, right here.
I'm like a turkey. You know how they look. Oh, bless.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's why I have this camera angle because look at the definition on my chin when it's top down instead of high.
You know what you just reminded me of? That.
Oh no, you got bit ready.
Oh no. Tangent. You reminded me of the TikTok that I sent to you of what's that actress's name? It just like pans up and she says hi.
Oh yeah. Yes, I don't know what her name is, but I know exactly which TikTok you're talking about.
I think she's from No, she's not from Legally Blonde. She's from the Mean Girls.
No,
she's from Mean Girls.
Is she from Mean Girls? I don't know. I believe you.
I don't remember. I am another tangent. I am literally illiterate in pop culture. So like if you ever see us discussing any kind of pop culture referring to stuff, if I don't know something, it's because I know nothing. It's
Scarfee
because I haven't
movies.
watched. I don't watch movies. I watch some TV shows, only those that I like, and then again, ADHD is like when I start watching something that doesn't interest or grab me in the first 5 minutes, I just don't watch it. And that's just the reality of it all. Is that another reality behind the ADHD is that we can't do something that doesn't excite us. It's just like it's even for something that we liked or used to like, we can just lose interest really quickly. And it's one of the adverse sides of ADHD that we have to suffer that people don't really talk about is that we're not just lazy that we can't do something or like or we don't focus on something. It's just because our brain doesn't let us keep the focus on, even if we want to focus on something. Even if I want to focus like on a video game in front of me, there might be a video playing on the other screen that I'm just more interested in.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing video games with my friends, I'm having a great time, but there's also a video on the other side of the screen saying something more interesting for my brain right now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't concentrate. Like the other day, we were playing Fall Guys, and I was building a cabinet on the side of my table at the same time as we were playing Fall Guys. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not playing to my full ability right now because there's a cabinet waiting to be built right next to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm just more fixated on this right now.
Yeah, because you get it. And it's like, for me at least, right? If I'm getting something that I'm going to assemble and it shows up, I'm like, I'm going to assemble it right now. I don't care what else is happening. Like, I've been waiting for it. I want to do it. I'm doing it now. And inevitably, I'll screw something up because I'm rushing into it. But I'm like, we're doing it now. We're going through it. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, no, so I feel that. I just like... I'll be like, yeah, no, let me do this. Like, let me play this game, and I'll play the game, and every time, like you were doing, like every time I'll die, I'm like, all right, 2 seconds, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Jamming shit together. I'm like, all right, there we go. Just get jamming the drawer in there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly, absolutely. Back circling to the topic of diagnosis. You are not diagnosed, but you, we aren't. Quick disclaimer: we're not medical professionals. Don't take medical advice from us. Don't take medical advice from the definition from Google. Go to an actual medical professional and get diagnosed. Okay.
Yes.
That said, you exhibit a lot of the same behavior that I do. I think you have a different subtype of ADHD than I do because I'm more inattentive. I'm not as hyperactive as you are most of the time. But fair enough. After spending time with you at TwitchCon, I can with 80% sureness say that you have ADHD because the amount of times that we just drive to somewhere in the car and you just start singing complete random shit.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
It is just what you do. You are the machine of random noises, random thoughts, random sayings, and most of the time when you say something you don't think of. There you go. Most of the time when you say something, you don't think about it, and it ends up sounding sexual. So,
okay, so yes, this is something I want to talk about. I want to address this real quick because I am almost positive that the people in chat think it's a bit, and it is not a bit. All right? I do not think before words come out of my mouth, and they always sound so much worse than I ever intend it to be. It's not a bit. I'm not trying to be nasty on purpose. It just happens, and it's just... it's a problem. Also, don't mind me. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, it
is absolutely true. But it also is a symptom of ADHD hyperactivity. It's the symptom of hyperactivity where you just
right now we're talking and I just retweeted you on Twitter.
Absolutely, exactly.
I was looking at the notes and then I got a pop up that I had a like on one of my tweets and I was like, ooh, Twitter. And I clicked that and then I saw your thing and I was like, ooh, I should retweet that. Chain of retweets. Oh, God.
Exactly.
It's just a mess. I'm a mess.
But that is true, is that like we jump from thing to thing. I am more inattentive type in which I just can't keep focus on something for too long. It just exhausts me. I use like as a person who has ADHD, and any other person with ADHD probably can confirm this, is that again, not medical professionals, but keeping focus on something for a long amount of time, on something that our brain is not automatically interested in, exhausts us to no end. It is a lot higher resource consumption than for a neurotypical person. By the way, neurotypical means a person who is typically developed in neurological department, as in their brain developed up to in the range of norm. That is what the neurotypical person is. I don't know how many actual neurotypical not actual neurotypical person is always neurotypical. What am I saying? I lost my train of thought in the middle of this of what I was saying. Welcome to the podcast. But
how we do.
Oh, what I was trying to say is that I don't know in actuality if there's such a thing as an actually neurotypical person, because everybody has something that like deviates from norm in some way or another, and it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just, I think the norm should be is that it's normal to have something that deviates from the average, and it's just what it is. Like, and honestly, if I were offered to do something to make me more quote unquote normal, I don't know if I would do it, because I don't know if I want to be that average boring person that everybody thinks about, like an average gray like shape in the
you just
whatever.
like hello, I am human, how are you, are you
and,
good
and there's nothing
human?
there's nothing else like defining about my characteristics,
Not to say that people who are normal, like neurotypical, are blobs of human that go, yep, I'm a human, all right, woo. That's not what we're saying.
It's not what we're saying, but like, you know what I mean, is that, like,
it's part of who you are, it's part of your character,
exactly.
And you don't want to lose that piece of character, it's part of you.
True.
It's part of right in the alien on your chest, it's part of you.
Yeah. Okay. One other, well, like one of the couple other things that I wanted to talk about before we wrap up for the first episode, because we don't want to keep it too long, because it's just like the first episode that we're trying. I know that I got diagnosed. Well, so the problem with mental illness in general, because it is a mental illness, let's just clear that up right now, is ADHD is a part of a mental illness category. It is development disorder, where your frontal lobes literally develop differently from other people. But what categorizes it as a disorder, and what the general thing as with mental illnesses, is you yourself have trouble noticing it until somebody points it out for you. And I think that for me, the main reason why I went and got diagnosed is because somebody suggested that it might be an issue for me. And I went to get help. I basically just said, okay, I need help. I need a professional to tell me what I need to do. And I went to a professional, and I got diagnosed, because my life was impacted by it in such a way that I couldn't function normally until I got help. So I think I got a little bit more of a substantial effect on my life with this than you, but I never asked you, like, if you were ever like severely affected by it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm necessarily, I don't know, because at this point it's like so much of my personality is affected by it that I don't know, like, what where the line is, right?
Where the adverse effect starts and end.
Exactly, because I've kind of made it into my own thing, because I've been like, okay, well, this is just how I am, so let's adapt and make it work. And but I mean, I definitely, like, I know I have issues focusing on stuff, especially if it's like boring. Like if I'm like, wow, this does not maintain any visage of interest in any way, shape, or form in my brain, I'm not going to do it. I just won't. That's a problem. I get just like overwhelmed very easily, because I have a lot going on in my head at any given moment. And so if somebody like blindsides me with something, then it like instantly my brain goes like, okay, overload for one, and for two, you need to be defensive because there's a lot happening. So I am very quick to be defensive about myself, I guess, because of it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being dumb. I don't know. I don't know these things, right? But I don't know. I'm not necessarily like, I'm used to it at this stage. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, true. You get used to it. Yeah. I just also wanted to say really quick. You said that, like, just me being dumb. That's one of the things that people with such disorders keep telling themselves, which
self-deprecating
professionals
humor
will tell you. That's something that professionals will tell you to stop doing, because that's not necessarily being dumb or anything in that sort.
Yeah.
What?
Fair enough.
What are you doing?
Off-screen high five. You can't prove that was my hand.
ADHD right there. Over there. Yeah, what I was saying is that it is also one of the symptoms of ADHD, of being overly emotional or overly reactive to stuff, just because our brain is really bad at filtering out different adverse information that we are receiving. Like the way that my therapist explained it to me, which really stuck with me, because it is a really simple explanation and it also makes a lot of sense, is everybody's brain has a filter. In the like, everybody's mind has a filter gate where they filter out the information they don't need, and they let in information that they do want to process and understand. People with ADHD, that filter is broken, in the sense that it doesn't filter out all of the information that it doesn't need. Instead, the brain systems get overwhelmed with all of the information that is coming into our mind. That is one of the reasons why people get overly emotional, overly reactive, because they can't filter out a lot of the emotional impacting stuff that they receive from the outer world. That is the reason why people with ADHD have trouble communicating in loud environments. That is the reason why people with ADHD are really easily distracted, is because any kind of information incoming while we're focusing will penetrate our focus and just take away our attention immediately. So it's just the way it is, basically.
My brain is a sponge.
And my brain is a sponge. But yeah, that's basically our experiences with ADHD, and I think that for this episode we're kind of running out of time for now.
We're hitting 43 minutes here on my count.
And I think we have a solid base here for now, and I think this gives a good idea of what the podcast is going to be about in general.
Yeah.
So
it's
what
not
we want to
be
end
like
on
medical discussion stuff too. It's just getting the baseline, so there's a base understanding for listeners, and then going from there into like how it interacts with us in normal life. So that it'd be like fucking just talking, doing tangents and chit chatting, and it'll be like a pretty normal podcast.
Yeah, we're just going to be talking about completely random stuff. It's not going to be all about the ADHD discussion. Yeah. It's just going to be like stuff in the life that we see and we just find interesting. And as we go, you probably will get more idea of it. But this was just like a general quick information of why are we doing this and what causes it, and just so you guys stay informed. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to wrap up with the thing that we really like.
Yes.
Let me just really quickly open it. So there's this site called Inspirabot, INSPIROBOT.me, that generates random inspirational quotes.
It's my favorite.
And what we think it is really cool, and it is really funny. And what we want to do with the podcast is we're going to end on one of the inspirational quotes that this bot is going to spew at us. So we're gonna. Do you want to do one each, or do we want to just do one?
Yeah, I just pulled one up actually, and I'm
gonna also pull one up, and we're just gonna do one each.
Yeah. So save the picture because we can put it in post. But I will.
Wait, we just need to generate a good one, so it's like
this. This one it's beautiful because it's total nonsense. It just says, "Think of it," and it's a plane flying. No sense. Complete and utter nonsense.
Absolutely no sense.
I love it.
But it is an inspirational. It's an inspirational quote.
If that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. Let me tell you.
Mine is also really cool. I cannot show it necessarily onto the screen, but it's a picture of a very beautiful man with a very beautiful fur scarf, and the text says, Witch hunters and car owners work together to stop government intervention.
What the fuck?
And with that, we're leaving you today.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out.
Keep random, everybody.
Yeah, stay random. You want to go play Fall Guys?
Sure, absolutely.
Let's do it. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.